I was a huge advocate, and I still am and will always be a fan of walking the walk and not just talking the talk.
Yes.
Yeah, because so after my like spiritual awakening, it gave me confidence. It gave me certainty about who I am.
Yes.
Then comes the sexuality, because sex is very much knowing yourself. Like, sex is you.
Yes.
Sex is not your partner. It's like 30% your partner, 70% you.
Thank you.
Right? People always like, oh, my wife doesn't want to have sex with me. I'm like, no. It's 70% you. So what is going on with you that she's not having sex with?
Tara.
Hi.
Hi. I'm so glad you're here, and that we finally got together and got you in the Mojo studio.
I am blown away by the Mojo studio.
Yeah?
Yeah. As soon as I came in, just the energy and the smell and the vibe, it's orgasmic. It's really a place that's like for orgasms.
Oh, wow. That's like one of the best. Somebody said the other day that it feels like a hug, but I like this.
Yeah.
It's a place for orgasms.
It feels so good.
Oh, good. I'm glad. That's the intention. So I'm glad it's working for you.
It's working.
And you would know, because here's the thing. We met at an event, and then I was like, who is this like vibrant, like bright, amazing woman? And then I find out that you're this incredible sex expert, and not only are you an incredible sex expert and knowledgeable, you're a professor, the youngest tenured professor at your
California State University, Fullerton.
Yeah, the youngest one who ever achieved that, which is huge, by the way.
Thank you.
And you're gorgeous, and the way that you share information, I think particularly on social, is so much fun. How did you decide to, like, I'm thinking Beyonce, all right? She's got her Sasha Fierce, right? How because I feel like and tell me if I'm wrong, but that there's a persona that does come across when you share on social. Was that a conscious decision or something that just sort of naturally arose?
I think that it's authentically me, but definitely has been sharpened over time. I'm naturally a funny girl. Like, I make a lot of funny comments. I'm a little goofy. I'm definitely not like Sasha Fierce, I'm funny. I'm a little goofy. I'm generally, people would say like someone who like lights up the room and not necessarily like a sultry, like not that vibe, right? So at first, when I started doing social media, I was using my professor voice. So I would describe like concepts, and here are the 3 bullet points. And it's very sophisticated and kind of lower pitch. And it's how I usually, the voice that I use in a classroom.
Okay.
But I started working with my assistant, who's a Gen Z, who when we met, like 23 years old. And he's like, Tara, your normal Tara life voice is super funny, and just like all those jokes that you tell, like they're really funny. You should channel that more. And I'm like, wow, that's a really good advice. So I just started saying ridiculous things on my socials, and boom, a year later, 2 million followers. It's people really resonate with the funny tone when you talk about uncomfortable things. Right? Because I say like cock, pussy, shit, butthole all the time, but it's like my face and my voice.
Yes.
So no one's offended. Like, I would say out of all the responses, like maybe 10% is negative, but 90% is positive. So I'm like, woohoo!
Yeah, you found it. And I love your bye.
Bye.
I mean, it's like I've come to look forward to that.
It's a huge thing on TikTok. If I miss it, there'll be lots of comments that says, "Where's the bye?"
Oh my gosh. That's when like people love you.
Yeah.
And people are really
I get
responding.
A lot of love.
Yeah.
I love that.
Well, and I feel like that, right, because you're giving out a lot of love.
Thank
you're giving out a lot of, fun but important content, right? Like, so it's, let's go back a second, because a lot of my listeners just also do love kind of an origin story. And
Oh,
of
okay.
all the things, right, that you could do, you went down the path of, sexual education, sexual wellness, right, and communication within that realm. Like, how did, you land on that? I always say, when I was 7, I didn't wake up going, ooh, I want to be a mojo recovery specialist. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I love a mojo recovery specialist.
that wasn't on the checklist at career day. So
what did you want to be when you were a kid? When you were, like when you were 8, what did you want to be?
It was, I think I was somewhere at that point between veterinarian and dancer.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, for sure.
I love that. A vet or a dancer?
Yeah, well, I love animals, and so I thought, but then I found out that you'd have to deal with blood and all that, and I was like, it's too hard, and they would be hurt when you'd be seeing them a lot of the time. So that I was like, I can't do that.
Not happy vibes.
And I'm too sensitive for that. But yeah, and then dancer, for quite a while.
Yeah.
Until this bitch of a teacher, and this is why, for all the parents listening, and I know this actually happened to a family member of mine recently. You got to be so careful, obviously, about who teaches your kids, because this one dance teacher was just making the girls in her class, just ridiculing them about their little 8, 9, 10-year-old bodies, and telling them either how stupid they are with this, and I just can't even imagine. And then I think, oh yeah, I was 12, got boobs, and this teacher was like, you're never going to be a dancer. Your boobs are too big.
Oh, what?
Yeah, talk about, I had breast shame for years and years and years. Anyway, so that's a side street. But did you want to be a sex expert?
No. Same with you. When I was 8, I did not think about being a sex expert. I actually, now that I think about it, I was asking you this question and then I realized I don't have an answer for myself. I probably wanted to be a lawyer or something. Something like traditional and conventional for a good Asian girl.
Yeah.
A good wife, maybe. But so the origin story, should we go way back, or?
Well, I'm curious, because did you grow up with in a sex positive environment? Was your family open about talking about this? I'm thinking no, where you grew up.
No, I grew up in Thailand, in Bangkok, to strict parents. They're very kind, very understanding, but also have rules and you have to follow. Never talked about sex. Never ever talked about sex. And if there's sex scenes in movies or TV shows that we're watching, they're forwarding it. Fast forward.
Yeah.
So it's, I would say I didn't grow up in a sex negative home, because my mom also wasn't oh, you're going to hell if you have sex. But it was a non-existent home.
Yeah.
Right? Sex doesn't exist. Which you can argue has a negative impact on children. So that's how I grew up. I actually went to an all-girls Catholic school.
Hello.
Did you too?
No. I'm just the picture that's getting painted is
I went to
richer and richer.
All-girls Catholic school taught by nuns until 14.
Wow.
So my whole, growing up developmental years were with nuns and covering my wrists and my knees. Oh. So in my school, and I'm pretty sure they still practice this now, if you don't cover your knees, you get hit on the wrist with a roller. So you have to make sure your skirt's long and you're covering the knees, because your knees are too sexy and you don't want to provoke men.
Oh gosh.
Because it's your fault.
Right. It's only men that you would be provoking, because God forbid a woman would actually be attracted to you.
You'd just be provoking people. So that's my introduction to body love is no, you have to cover yourself, and you're the reason if people stray or look at you is because of the way you dress. So that's the environment. And then I grew up, I went to high school in Finland.
Oh.
And that was the first time I saw people being naked nonchalantly.
Yes. Because they have an amazing sauna culture.
Yep.
I was only in Helsinki for 2 days and I fell in love. I totally want to go back and spend time there.
Yeah.
Well, say more about that.
I think you would love that. They're very, I wouldn't say they're body positive, they're body neutral.
Yes.
They don't care.
Mm-hmm.
No one talks about bodies. It's not like, oh, that person's naked. Oh my God, that's a nipple.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh my God, my grandpa's cock. Like, they all get naked and go into the saunas together, like the family or friends. And they don't like talk about bodies because it doesn't matter to them.
Yeah.
And that was the first time I was exposed to just the idea of like, this is not something to be ashamed of. My body is just like a body. And she's lovely and she's here for me. She takes me to places. And by that time, of course, she gives me pleasure because I started masturbating since I was like 11. So that was my first exposure to, I guess, in a way, like positive sexuality. Yeah.
What a beauty. I mean, talk about, I feel like a gift from the universe.
Yeah.
Right? To have got planted in a space that is so accepting of just of being a naked body.
Yeah. Fins are really cool.
Yeah.
They're like a little odd, but cool.
Yeah. I mean, Scandinavia, I was surprised how much I love that part of the world. And yes, in terms of sort of personality wise, there's a laid back, almost reservedness that you're not quite sure where you
stoic.
Yeah, and you're not quite sure where you land with them until I feel like you start to spend more and more time. And there's like a real warmth there.
You get naked and go into the saunas together, and then jump into the ice hole together, and then you're friends.
Exactly, and then you're having like beers at the sauna.
Exactly,
like that's where they go. Yeah, but okay, so you go to Finland, and then. So that was a moment of transformation.
That really was. And although Europeans and Americans are very different, there are some things to me, like now that I live here, that I was like, oh, that reminds me of when I was in Finland. So yeah, fast forward, I came to America. I went to Cal State LA for my master's. Then I went to Arizona for my PhD. So I lived in Phoenix for 4 years.
And are you on a lawyer track at this point? Is that
no? Okay. So after my master's, I was either going to go get a JD or a PhD. Okay. My whole family have a master's degree, so they really wanted someone to have a PhD. And at that point, I really haven't developed like my personal identity. I just kind of do what my parents tell me to do, like a good Asian girl. So at that point, I'm just like, yeah, I don't feel like I'm argumentative enough to be a lawyer because I learned after. So in my master's, I started teaching, which was a blessing. Oh my gosh, I'm so grateful that I was given that opportunity or earned that opportunity because I started teaching. I taught oral communication, not oral sex.
That comes later.
That comes later. I taught oral communication in my master's program and realized that I love teaching and that I'm a good professor because all the evaluations that students do after the semester ends are amazing. So my mentor in the master's program is like, Tara, you should become a professor. Like, you're a really good teacher. And so at that point, I'm like, yeah, maybe I'll do that. So I had a talk with my parents, not going to law school. I'm going to go get a PhD. I went to Hugh Downs School of Human Communication, and I focused on relationships. So I studied communication in relationships, which of course, like sex comes up, right? Romantic relationships. And so that was 4 years in the PhD program. I learned from really inspiring professors. Dr. Corey Floyd came up with affection exchange theory, which allows us to understand how affectionate communication affects people in terms of relational outcomes, mental health outcomes, physical health outcomes. So it was a really cool class that I took with him. And then attachment style with Dr. Laura Guerrero. So I learned attachment style, I learned jealousy, I learned like just so many cool things. And then at that point, I realized like, okay, this is what I want to do. So when I was in the PhD program, I decided I will become a professor.
I love all this. And I'm going to go back for a second. You said affection?
Yeah.
Give me an example of that. That's a new term to me.
Yeah. So affection exchange theory states that affectionate communication affects humans in various different ways. And I think this is a no doubt, right? Like we know that, like affectionate communication. saying I love you is a verbal one.
Oh, okay,
Hugs
okay.
and kisses is nonverbal. So anything
Okay.
that is affectionate
Okay.
and it's a communication
All right,
act.
so it's literally that literal.
Yeah,
I just
yeah,
was
yeah.
wondering if there was some sort of other.
No. Affectionate communication. But
Okay.
he studied really cool stuff. So
Mm.
he would study like whether or not parents, whether or not like the ability to show affection is innate.
Mhm.
So like whether or not genetics, like our parents affect us and the way we are able to communicate affection. And he studied with twins.
Mm.
So almost exactly the same DNA,
Right.
almost exactly the same person, but with like perhaps people that grew up differently with like different affection style from parents.
Mhm.
And he found that for women, and wow, when I learned this, I was just like, oh, I want to learn more, and this is a good track for me. He found that for women, it's half nature, half nurture.
Mhm.
So 50% nature is how are your parents? Like, let's say, are your parents affectionate?
Mine?
Yeah.
Kinda. I mean, I'm not gonna say like yes or no, but we hug,
Okay.
for sure. And honestly, I don't remember from when I was a kid. I don't.
Okay.
I mean, I've got affection from friends and
Yeah.
other sort of other people. Certainly, my grandmother
Yeah.
was a big influence in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he found that for women, it's 50% nature, 50% nurture.
Mhm.
So you can totally become a more affectionate person, even if your parents were maybe a little distant or cold.
Yeah.
However, for men, and this is interesting, it's all nurture.
Ah.
Yeah. So
Interesting.
if a boy grows up in a family where like men don't receive affection that
Mhm.
way, no touching, no hugging, no kissing on the cheeks, no holding hands, like be a man, then he will become much more of a dismissive, avoidant, distant lover person.
I know a few of those.
Oh yeah,
I have met a few of those.
we all know a few of those because again, like I feel like in America too, there's a strong narrative. It's changing now, but a strong narrative. I would say from like early 2000s and the 90s
Mhm.
that like men don't cry,
Right.
men are not vulnerable, man up. I think those are very prominent. When you look at some cultures, it's really interesting. Like when you look at Indian culture, men hold hands
Mhm.
to walk to places.
Yes.
And like a Midwestern American boy might say like that's gay, bro.
Exactly.
But just cultural differences. But yeah, I would say me bringing in my own cultural perspective too, being Asian, grew up in Thailand, went to school in Finland, now in America, in the PhD program, like learning all these things, I start thinking about how like, oh, but that doesn't really apply to here and here and here. Or like, wow, that's so universal because I've seen it here and here and here.
Yes.
So yeah, it's been like quite a journey. And then when I graduated, I landed my dream job.
Which one?
A tenure track professor at Cal State Fulton. Yes. Because I was like, oh my God, am I gonna get a job? It was a really tough year. And yeah, I did. And I moved back from Arizona to LA and because I started teaching at Cal State Fulton and 4 years later got tenure.
Unbelievable. And had you already begun at that point in terms of the timeline, like your online presence?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, my online presence is way later.
Okay.
I think this is why a lot of people are very shocked. It's kind of like I came out of nowhere.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I know some sexperts that have been around a long time and have done social media a long time. That was like, who the fuck are you? I started TikTok and just, kept pushing. I post every day, 3 times a day. Kept pushing, and a year and 2 months later, like we're at 2 million followers and like amazing engagement. And I just think, wow, 2 years ago, me would never thought of this. Like that this would be the outcome.
Amazing.
Yeah, because I'm an academic by heart. Like that's how I was trained. I never worked anywhere else.
But you definitely have this, like you said in the beginning, this super fun, goofy side. So is it, it seems like, is it a pleasurable outlet for you?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, okay.
It's so much fun.
Okay.
Whenever my friends come watch me film content, they're like, Tara, that's exhausting. I'm like, dude, that's so much fun.
So fun.
Yeah, I love saying ridiculous shit on social media and have people laugh or cringe or whatever. Some people are like, this girl's so cringy. I'm like, good.
Yeah.
I'd rather be really cringy or absolutely lovable and nothing else.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know, then you definitely have sort of the skin or the heart or the soul for it, because I remember just certain coaches of mine, they're like, look, you know that you've made it when you have haters, right? Because people are either going to love you or they're not. And I mean, if you find that people are just kind of neutral, well, then you aren't really making a mark. And, you know, clearly you are a beautiful walking, you know, example of this.
You're so right. Like, indifference kills me.
Yeah.
It kills me. I'd rather like someone's like, I really can't stand her, versus like, oh, I don't care.
Now, is there any bit in the indifference, not the indifference, but like the haters, if you will, the critiquers, that has actually been a bit of an ouchie at any point? Or,
you know, it's so interesting. Like, I've been on so many podcasts and no one has ever asked me these things.
Well, that's why we're here on The Real Undressed.
Yeah. So I'm going to have to admit that I have, you know, I seemingly have like a strong, like outer presence, but I have a very soft heart, and there are a lot of ouchies. I'll see like 2,000 positive comments and then one negative comment, and it gets me. And so I think sometimes it's better to not like look at the comment section as much as in detail as I do right now, and have my assistant kind of comb through and yeah.
And what do you, so this is, because these are a lot of things we will talk about here in terms of self-care, and like, do you consider yourself a spiritual person?
Yes.
Okay, so then when it comes to those moments, what are things that you do in your own practice that help you, particularly with the ouchies? Because I know for me, like, I've recently been through just a whole going into my own cocoon, and like it's been an elongated period of time. I don't always have to do that, but like there are things that will help to either soothe my soul or take care of my inner child, or what, you know, these types of things, especially when things feel hard and painful and hurtful. Yeah. What are some of the things that help you when that happens?
Yeah, well, 100% meditation. I do these like either like positive motivational meditation or sexual meditation, kind of queen meditation, goddess meditation, whatever it is, but it's like positive energy. I love those. I love stopping and breathing. Helps me regulate myself and really collect my thoughts and all the positive, great, like amazing things that are happening in my life, and also reframing that comment. So meditating and reframing that comment. For example, if it's someone that says like, what a whore, or like, what a stupid bitch, right? I reframe it in terms of compassion, like, wow, hurt people.
Yes.
You know, a good person would never say that in person or on the internet. Yeah. Like, so this person is hurting and maybe has developed some negative characteristics and communication style due to their unfortunate life. So then I send them that good energy. Yeah.
That's so beautifully evolved of you, by the way.
Thank you.
Truly. I mean, and I concur, because I think when that kind of vitriol or whatever gets slung, how much pain that person must be in.
Yeah.
I mean, there's, you know, sometimes my initial reaction might be like, I don't want to punch you in the face, or, you know, go right like, back at it. Yeah. So my Aries combative style will come out and be like, you want to clash horns with me? All right, let's go.
That's my Sagittarius as well. But then my Virgo goes like, oh, let's go back and analyze. And then my Cancer is like, oh, I'm sending you good energy because your life must be shit.
Yeah, and I'm the Cancer rising too, so it's like, wait a second, we have to mama love you now.
Right. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. If you're happy and thriving, you won't say things like that.
No.
So that's why that helps me a lot because it allows me to not listen to the person.
Yes. And then you realize also like that not only if they were happy and thriving, but that even if they didn't agree with you, they would be more curious rather than hateful.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. That's interesting. And so, and what are some of the things, because again, you do have such a large following. It's like, but do you see themes or have there been kind of patterns of what people are interested in terms of just sex? I mean, obviously that's what you're teaching and talking about. Are there themes that seem to come up at either certain times, or is it just a big old smorgasbord of like everything?
Wow. It depends on the channel. So on my TikTok, it's very young.
Okay.
So my TikTok is Gen Zs mainly. So they want to learn all like new stuff. Like they want to learn like, how to last longer, how to have sex for the first time. Does it hurt? All the like young people stuff. So then I wear my like big sister hat and kind of give them like a funny sex education that way.
Yeah.
But then I'll also make some quite advanced content, like talking about like threesomes or and those are for my Instagram. So my Instagram's a little bit older.
Okay.
Like late 20s, 30s, 40s. But my TikTok's like 18.
Okay.
So it's different.
Yeah.
Instagram, a little bit more advanced content. I think a lot of people are interested in how to keep passion alive in a long-term relationship. I think people ask this all the time, and I swear every magazine has an article that talks about this, and yet it's still a big problem in our society where people lose passion and desire and all of those things for one another.
And why do you think that's so?
Based on, so whenever I talk about this topic, which I love talking about it because I've read a lot of research and books about it and watched TED Talks and stuff, but whenever I start talking about it, I have a lot of older people goes, well, honey, wait till you get there.
Oh, I hate that answer.
Right? I'm like, yeah, let me show you. Like when I get there, I'll show you. Yeah. I take my own advice. Like I'll do exactly what I know will work based on all of these empirical evidence. So I think why do people lose attraction and passion for one another is, I think it's simple. I think they're bored. It's we don't want to admit it because we have a romanticism in America.
Yes.
All the Disney movies, you're being rescued and here's a knight on a white horse, and there's so much romanticism. People like forget like the realistic things. Yeah. Of course, if you fuck the same person for 30, 40 years, you're going to be bored.
Right. If you do it the same way every time.
Yeah, if you do it the same way every time.
I mean, that's boring.
That's why a lot of people don't have sex with their partner or don't desire to have sex with their partner. Is like they just don't want that kind of sex. It's not that they have a low sex drive. What a misguided thing to say. So many people say like, oh, my wife has a low sex drive. I'm like, okay, if Brad Pitt gets in here right now, get naked and give her so much love, lick her pussy, she will not want to get fucked. She will want to get fucked. Yeah. Like, period. And so she doesn't have a low sex drive. She just doesn't want that kind of sex. She does not want sex with you. So
the way you've been doing
it, right. Not you as a person. Yeah. But I think with over time, with lots of studies showing that sex in long-term relationship needs, number one, novelty. And this needs to be added like periodically, right? Not like, oh, let's go to this retreat one time and we're changed forever. Like you need to check in, right? And then number two, so novelty and excitement, I would kind of group them together. Number two is communication, sexual communication, both micro communication, so like talking during sex and dirty talk and sexting, as well as macro communication, so talk about sex. How are we doing sexually this month? How would you rate our sex life this month? Right? My partner and I do this very regularly. I would be like, okay, last week, how would you rate your sex life from 1 to 10? If he's like, you know what, I'm going to say 6 because you were really busy. I was really busy and we just didn't make enough time for each other. Then I accept it. I'm like, you know what, you're right.
Yeah.
Let me change that. Let us change that, because I prioritize us, and it's such a good way to objectively identify where you're at.
I love this so much, and I wish that this would become a household curriculum.
Literally.
So I know, like, you're on your way, and that's your mission, right?
Yeah. I teach all my students, like, you got to do sexy check-ins.
It's so, because if everybody did this, it would be a different world.
It would be a different world.
I think marriages would be saved. Relationships, marriages, whatever, partnerships, whatever, people are in. But the boredom, right, don't you think would be diminished, because then there's clear communication.
Exactly.
But so why, and what have you seen, why do you feel that it is so challenging for people to talk about sex? Specifically, I mean, look, there's two parts to this.
Yeah.
Why is it so complicated to talk about sex in general? That's one part. And then the other part is, why is it so complicated to talk about it with your partner in a relationship?
Ooh. Wow. I feel like we could talk for like 3 hours about this. But so the first question, why is it hard to talk about in general? We have to go way back, because in ancient history, scholars have always studied sex. And, there were certain points in time, like the Roman culture, where sex wasn't as taboo. And actually, like, homosexual sex wasn't even called homosexual. It was just sex. Yeah, it's just sex with multiple people, different people. It's not gendered.
It was just sex.
So when you think of it like that way, and then, like, we had a rise of organized religion, Christianity, Judaism, Islam, Buddhism. I mean, most religion kind of like, either sex is a very sacred thing between a husband and a wife, or just like kind of shame sex. With the rise of all of the organized religion comes a taboo-ness of sex and talking about sex. So if the act is taboo, then of course talking about it is taboo as well. But then we had this rise of studying sex again in early 1900s, where, sociologists and psychologists and biologists started studying sex again in early 1900s. And then we have, the 60s and the 70s, sexual revolution, feminism, and all of those things combined. Like, sex now is becoming a little bit more, I guess, like, people accept talking about sex a little bit more now, but we can't undo hundreds of years, thousands of years of taboo-ness just yet.
Right.
However, you do see, like, it's changing a lot, right? Especially for the last 5 years.
Well, yeah, I mean, thanks to people like you. And that's really,
and you.
Thank you. The reason I started the show was because I do have such a passion and a commitment to have conversations, not only about sex, but specifically about the combination between spirituality and sex.
Yes.
Because, right, it's like, again, those things seem to be on such opposite ends of the spectrum. And to me, they're the same. It's like, it's all energy. I don't want to go too far down that rabbit hole. I'm very passionate about that.
No, I love it because I actually started embracing my sexuality fully after a huge spiritual awakening.
Oh my God, say more. Tell us everything.
So I was married before. And at that time, I started exploring spirituality a little bit more. I have to say, I'm very academically Western trained. So everything's objective. Like, objectivity comes first. Like, oh, is that testable? Oh, it's not. I don't believe in it. Right? What are some empirical evidence for this? Right? I didn't have, like, I would say, in a lack of a better word, I didn't have faith. Like, I only believe in things I can see, touch, smell. And that's why I neglected spirituality for a long time, even though I actually grew up very spiritual. Well, we can't really mix religious and spiritual, but both religious and spiritual. Okay. My parents would pray and meditate every single day. They sent me to meditation camps every summer.
Wow.
Yeah, so I can meditate. Like, I can sit there a long time. And I think it really what's the word, fueled my attention span.
Yes.
I am able to sit and focus like a motherfucker. Like I can sit and write for like 6 hours and forget.
Wow.
Yeah, so all those things are great. And I'm Western trained. I accepted all of those things. So then, with the difficulty of my first marriage, I started looking for alternatives, looking for what are some ways to understand myself better and me in relations to my then husband and people around me. And that then comes spirituality.
Yeah.
Because that's almost the only way to truly understand why we're here.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think because of that difficulty of the first marriage, I really like threw myself into spirituality. I started reading more, watching TED Talks, YouTube videos, started meditating again every single day and still do now, and started praying again. Yeah. And then I went into this world of psychedelics. And there's a lot of things. You know what? It really humbles you because it just shows you know nothing.
Yeah.
Which is like really comforting. I know nothing. So, yep, I forgive myself for this marriage. I forgive myself for being shitty to that friend. I forgive myself for not calling my mom more often. And I can change. And I can make positive changes in my life to live the life I truly want. And boom, 4 years later, I'm here living the life I truly want. Wow. I credited like majority of it to spirituality, revisiting that and how that had fueled my sexual awakening. 4 years ago, I wasn't this person.
So, but your sexual is your awakening originally, or your sexual reawakening now, like in adult life? The spirituality.
So I would say the spirituality comes first, then the sexual awakening.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So like if you talk to any of my college friends, I was not sexual. Like
that's funny.
Yeah. Like this Tara is 4 years ago. Like when I truly embraced who I am. I've always inside been sexual. Like I think I started touching myself probably when I was 3, right? But didn't know it was masturbation.
Yeah.
I've always been kind of sexual.
Sure.
I knew that about myself because I would notice like genitals really fast when I was a kid. And always thought like I was a perv. Like and just suppress it because I grew up in a very modest culture. Like Thai culture is modest. And so I just, I shove it down, never revisit it again until I had issues in my marriage. And then I had to work on it. And now with my current husband, we are so goddamn proactive when it comes to everything. Sexuality, spirituality, relationships, even in general, like energy from friends. If I have some friends at home, I'm like, oh, is it okay? Is the energy okay? I'm very sensitive to people's energy. If they have negative energy or there's a lot of like negativity, complaining, then I don't want them in my space because it stays. Yeah. Like that cloud, it stays, and I don't want that in my space. I don't want it in my business. I can't even deal with it. So after that whole spiritual journey, I'm in love. I love my life. I love myself. I love my sex life. I love my pussy. Yes. I love my husband now. And just like I love my friends. I love all my Love Bites family. Like it's just, yeah.
Yeah. What was that? That was a beautiful moment there. What was that?
To me, like spirituality is everything. It changes everything. It's such a game changer. Wow. And saying this as a baby, I'm a spirituality baby. I talk to someone like you who's practiced spirituality and was in this world for a long time. I look at your library, I look at your home, your wallpaper, your painting. Like you've been in this a long time. I would say like I'm a spiritual baby,
Mm.
right? I'm just started learning. Like 4 years is nothing. And I love it. I love that feeling of like, I know nothing.
That's what, let's talk about beginner's mind. I mean, that's what so many people strive, to have, is the beginner's mind. And so I can feel and I can see in your face and the words and everything, the gratitude. And I think that
Very, very grateful.
Yeah, and that's what I'm so present to right now, is the level of gratitude that you have for your life and for the connection. Yeah.
Because I'm very grateful for the life that I have right now.
Yeah. I mean, but you co-created that, like you and Spirit did that. Right. I mean,
Thank you, Spirit.
Yeah. So it's so gorgeous. And okay, you did say psychedelics. So I got to go back there for a second, because was that part of, or was that like the pivotal moment of awakening? Or
that was, yeah.
Okay.
That was a pivotal moment.
Mushroom, like or
all of the
ayahuasca,
above.
everything?
Yeah.
Okay.
All of the above. I went like into the deep end, and I did it with like assistance. Like I never tried anything because I'm a Virgo. Like I plan and I organize and I do things safely. So I never do any of these things without actual like gurus or psychologists or shamans. So yeah, I've tried everything.
Wow. And what's one experience that was so palpable that you can share right now about that?
My ayahuasca retreat in Costa Rica. Yeah, it was a 3-night ceremony, 5-day retreat.
Wow.
And it was painful. It was the hardest time of my life. The hardest 8 hours. The first night was painful in my body, but also my mind. The second day was painful in my body, but it was like I almost died. Halfway through, I'm like tapping out, like I give up, I can't. It's still in my body, it's processing. So going through that much physical pain for someone like me, who like, to admit, like I never really had like crazy physical pain in my life.
Was it throwing up?
Everything. Throwing up, I had to take a shit.
Yeah, diarrhea, like all,
so
like
many,
all the things.
Everything's coming out, and my arms and my shins, like my legs were like electrified. Like cramps, that my whole body was cramping for 8 hours. It was terrible. The most terrible, like hardest physical time of my life. And then the next day I told the shamans and the what do they call them? Like the facilitators. I said, I'm not going to sit the third one. Like I can attend, but I'm not going to drink it.
Yeah.
And they're like, Tara, it's kind of like a wound being cut open and not sewn together if you don't go. Like if you don't do it. So the third day is really like to sew you back. Like fuck.
Oh God.
Yeah, and at that point
I'm like so
like
nervous
dying.
right now. I feel like I want to do
my
that.
eyes were baggy and I'm just like dying. I couldn't sleep. My whole body hurt still. Like, and we couldn't eat because you have to fast.
Yeah.
But I'm like, oh fuck it, okay. Like the last day, even if it's hell, I know that I'll wake up the next day and I'll be okay. So I'm like, fuck it, I'll do it. So the third night, I drank. I did not drink the same amount as the second, because the second night I drank a huge cup. So the third night I drank 1 cup, went through like a beautiful journey of the feeling of like femininity and motherhood, because ayahuasca is like motherhood. And the lady next to me is a mother, and she was going through all her motherhood shit, and I'm experiencing that because you feel everyone. So I was like, oh shit, like I was feeling her, I was feeling myself, and then I saw a pink dragon.
Oh.
Yeah. So I'm like, oh my God, that's me. I'm like, that's me. I was born in a dragon year. Yeah. And I don't know. I think I might get pregnant and have a baby next year, because next year is a dragon year. I feel like my motherhood might come in a dragon year. But yeah, so I saw the pink dragon and I had a beautiful time. Slight physical pain, but nothing compares to the second day. I would say like 2 out of 10. So amazing time. So after the 3 days, I attended integration. And I had an integration coach for 2 weeks after. 2 months after, 2 months after. And I have to say that changed my life completely, because after that, I started going exactly for what I want, saying exactly what I want to say, and asking everybody for all kinds of things, like ask for help. Like people will do things for you, just ask. So yeah, I it changed my whole entire life. Like
Wow.
anyone that knows me, even in like the master's program, like this is not who I am. This is someone I developed, like the more assertive, the more like asking for help, the more like asking for the things I want from the universe. This is new.
Wow.
Yeah, this is new. I was always a funny, goofy girl, but like all of this confidence is new.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it sounds like then this whole experience of the ayahuasca journey was the springboard
it was
that really opened up all of it.
a huge springboard
Yeah.
that I'm very, very grateful for. And I think after, so I think after next year, I'm ready for another one.
Okay. Yeah, it's funny. I've never done it.
Okay.
I don't feel called to do it.
Yeah.
And I'm always like, hey, if I'm ready, it'll tell me.
Yeah. Have you done any psychedelics?
I had, and sorry for any listeners, many of you have heard this before, but yes, I had an accidental mushroom experience.
Oh.
The short of it is I ended up eating chocolate. I was staying at my aunt and uncle's house. They're big ex-hippies and
Love
into
that.
all of this sort of stuff, but they were on the East Coast, and anyway, so I was staying at their house in Venice, California, and it was hot in the summer, and I thought, oh, I just wanted to have a little beach vacation because I was living in a different place at the time that was not close to the beach and it was hotter, and I was on a very specific food regimen.
Oh.
So I had to eat really clean and so on and so forth. Anyway, I made myself a matcha latte, and I was like, oh, I forgot my clean chocolate that I left at home because I just wanted the square, So I looked through, they have a whole bunch of chocolate in the fridge. I mean, all just right there together, as they always do. And I found one because there's all the usual suspects of, kind of semi-shitty chocolate, not clean. And this one goes raw, fair trade, organic, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, perfect. And I looked
enhanced.
and I look at the back and the ingredients and it had like cayenne in it and something. I thought, oh, nice little spicy chocolate, cool. So I ate like 4 giant squares.
Okay, that sounds like a lot.
Yeah, and
that's like a 1.5 grams,
something like that. It turns out. And so my friend, we were going to the movies. My friend comes to pick me up, and I'm like, I'm feeling really weird. My heart's racing. By the time we pull into the theater, I'm in the parking lot. We're about to walk in the building, and I'm really not feeling right now. And it hits me like a ton of bricks. I went, fuck. Oh, that was my uncle's chocolate. It was probably an edible. Oh. So I'm thinking it's, marijuana. Uh-huh. I get them on the phone. Thank God they answered. And they're like, describe. And I'm panicked. Oof. I mean, panicking in a concrete parking lot. Like, this is not good.
No.
Anyway.
The setting is really important.
Exactly. And so I'm in a concrete freaking parking lot in, West LA. Freaking out on the phone, and they said, oh, Deborah, that was our psilocybin chocolate. And I was like, what? And I'd never done it. I'd been wanting to do it, but afraid to do it, blah, blah, blah. I have 0 experience with psychedelics. Okay?
Oh, no.
But it changed my life.
Yeah.
It fucking changed my life. And, actually here where we are now in this space, in this home, it helped get me back to, being in the neighborhood that I want to be in. And, and many things opened up in my life after that.
That's powerful.
So, the book, actually, I got, my book deal a year afterwards.
Wow.
At first I got the new home. I got the book deal. So, a lot opened up.
Oh, and my gosh.
I got a lot of messages. But, here, I think you'll appreciate this because that moment when your ego leaves the building, right? Like, just gone. And then your soul comes through. So mine was sobbing, like hysterical sobbing. And the first thing that she could utter was, everybody forgot. And she's just hysterical. Everybody forgot. We're supposed to love each other. Oh, that was the first thing that she said. And, but then it was very much about, you have to tell Deborah, to help people stop with this sexual shame.
Yeah.
So it was like, again, it was so clear about the path. Anyhow, I hear that a lot.
Wow.
I know. Yeah. So I get the power of these things.
Yeah.
And I think if I'm going to say anything, obviously it sounds so obvious. You got to be ready for it.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm glad my spirit was like, look, bitch, you are just, you are
Yeah.
not moving yourself down this road that
I
we
feel
need
like
you
you
to
were
move on.
probably already in tune. Like,
Yes,
Yeah.
but I was stuck.
mm.
I was definitely stuck. And so my spirit was like, oh, fuck, she's not going to do it. We got to just, all right, we'll work it
Help
out.
her, we'll
Here,
help her.
we'll help her.
Yeah.
Here's some magical chocolate.
Come on, accidentally eat it.
I mean, it's so absurd, but it was so perfect. So that's my experience.
I love that.
Anyhow, I am so glad that you also had such a giant awakening and
Yeah.
how, but so this is a big spiritual awakening.
Mhm.
So how then does the sex and the sexuality piece come in at this moment? You've been studying, the conversation, and in terms of communication, but then it's like, all right, like sexpert.
Yeah.
Like,
How do we apply it all?
yeah.
Right?
Like,
We can all think about it, we can all theorize it, but how do you live it?
yeah.
That was the question that I was most obsessed about. Was, okay, now that I know all of these concepts and theories and research and talk to all these experts, like, how do I live the life?
Yeah.
Because I talked to some sexual like medicine doctors that told me one time, like, Tara, just because someone can talk about something doesn't mean they live the life.
They don't walk the talk.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I was a huge advocate, and I still am and will always be a fan of walking the walk and not just talking the talk.
Yes.
Yeah. Because so after my like spiritual awakening, it gave me confidence.
Mhm.
It gave me certainty about who I am.
Yes.
Then comes the sexuality, because sex is very much knowing yourself.
Mhm.
Like, sex is you.
Yes.
Sex is not your partner. It's like 30% your partner, 70% you.
Thank you.
Right? People always like, oh, my wife doesn't want to have sex with me. I'm like, no. It's 70% you. So what is going on with you that she's not having sex with you? So it's, again, to me, like, at that point, I was like, okay, what is it about me that I'm not living the life I truly wanted? And so I went to this shaman, and she's French, but she was living in Costa Rica in a tiny little hut, and she does Reiki. And she told me to pick a card, and it was this set of cards, and I picked the card, and the card says desire. And this was right after my ayahuasca ceremony. So I'm like, fuck, I gotta like go for it. I gotta like really satisfy my hunger, like the desire. I have always just been the sexual person, but I have always suppressed it. I've suppressed it for so long. Too goddamn long. It was the first time that I finally kind of let it go. I was on like this sexapades. Because I was just like, oh, I can't. I have to. And then I met my now husband, who were both very sexual and communicative and open. It's just the perfect
Beautiful.
sauce. Yeah, he's my soulmate. I met him, and after we hung out like half a year, I'm like, this is my soulmate.
Wow.
Have you ever heard of how, like, in the life we have 3 partners? A karmic partner, here to teach us something, which I would say my ex-husband, a twin flame, and a soulmate.
I get that. I can get that.
Yeah.
I feel like my former husband was karmic partner for sure. And then I had a partner for 6.5 years. I don't know if we're twin flames. We're not soulmates.
And sometimes it's not even like an actual partner.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it might be one person you fucked like in Amsterdam.
No, I can tell.
And you're like, oh my god, that was my twin flame.
I know who my twin flame is for sure. I mean, yeah, that was a lover for sure.
Yeah.
For
like,
sure.
best fuck of my life.
Well, yeah, it was very interesting, but certainly twin flame. And boy, when you're also in your experience, like in that energy, it's very arousing.
Yeah.
And also incredibly repellent. Did you experience that too?
Like intoxicating?
Well, it's super arousing, intoxicating, but then at the same time, like they can trigger you, and it's like then it's truly like love-hate kind of situation.
Yeah.
That twin flame, because it's like it's so you, that you love it, and then
Yeah.
also the stuff that you don't love, is right there too.
Yeah, man. I honestly don't think I've had a twin flame.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but definitely found my soulmate.
I love that.
Yeah.
I'm excited about my soulmate.
Yes.
I know he's out there.
I 100%.
Very much looking forward to
Yeah,
it.
and I can feel it in the energy too.
You can?
Yeah.
Oh, yay.
I think this year is your year.
No, well, I feel like, hey, we're both, it's happening.
It's happening.
And it goes back to, I think, also your intentionality and your energy and what you're putting out there.
You get what you give.
Right. And your level of gratitude, as I was saying before, is so huge that no wonder there's so many blessings that are being bestowed upon you, which there's the baby coming. I'm convinced.
Ooh,
Convinced.
Can't wait to have pregnant sex.
Oh my
Can't wait to
gosh.
like shoot milk out of my
I
mouth.
love that you're saying that. I love
Maybe
that.
I'll start an OnlyFans.
Right.
Boob milk.
Which there's the thing, right?
Boob milk.
Yeah, I mean, there's got to be a kink for that.
Oh, 100%. I feel like there's kinks for everything now. Do you have a kink?
I mean, gosh, now I'm gonna blush. Oh,
Yeah.
it's hilarious. I'm sure I have a kink.
I definitely have a kink. Like, I don't think it can be. Well, what is kink is very subjective.
Yeah, exactly.
But I love getting fingered,
Mm-hmm.
and it's my thing.
I love that.
Like everybody knows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, okay, because I wouldn't have thought like getting figured necessarily as a kink.
Right.
Just 'cause
Yeah.
I'm like,
But I
that's
think
just part of
people
sex.
think it's a non-traditional sexual thing to get fingered in like different places. So
Okay.
yeah. So
Okay.
like I get fingered in a theater, get
Oh,
fingered on a
fun.
hike,
Nice.
getting fingered in a car, getting fingered in a bus,
Okay.
on an airplane. I'm
Love
flying this Sunday, probably gonna get fingered.
Love that. I would. What do you mean probably?
I
I'm
don't
like,
know,
if you
yeah,
don't, I'm gonna be upset for you.
I'm gonna go with the flow to see if there's a moment in time where
If you're wanting it, that
Yes,
is, right?
yes.
But, okay, because I was like, if you're not wanting it, then fine. But if you're wanting it, it's your,
I want it.
pleasureful
Yeah.
kink. I love that. And so, what are some of the things that you've heard of, or from your, tribe listeners, so on and so forth, your Love Bites community, that have been some of the more maybe unusual or out? I don't even want to say out there. Just a kink that a
non-traditional.
non-traditional kink.
Feet, very popular
Yeah.
amongst my followers.
Okay.
I think there's absolutely nothing wrong with feet. I think feet are beautiful. I'm not into men's feet. I like women's feet. Yeah.
Men's feet are a thing. I
No,
love
men's
you guys, but
Yeah.
it could be a thing.
No, men's feet are not it. Women's feet are hot, and I can totally see why people have like foot fetish. But I think feet is a thing. Praise kink is a huge thing. Especially
Praise kink?
millennials and Gen Zs love praise kink.
What is this? What is
They
that?
want to be showered in praises in bed.
Oh, so
Yeah.
you're so gorgeous. You're so beautiful.
Yeah,
you're
your
like,
pussy is amazing. Your pussy smells amazing.
Yes.
Tastes amazing.
Yes.
Yeah, all of those things. Like just a lot of praise.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're like, I have praise kink.
Yes, I have that. Okay, I definitely have that kink.
Because some people don't like love it. They like once in a while, but they feel like it's like overdoing or whatever, but some people love.
Okay, all right. So praise kink, go on.
Praise kink is very common.
Mm-hmm.
I would say group sex is something that people are really interested in.
Mm-hmm.
Conscious like threesomes
Mhm.
or even foursomes, or even like attending a sex party.
Mhm.
So many people, and my followers are millennials and Gen Z, so many people ask me about sex parties and sex clubs. So not necessarily a kink, but it's definitely a huge interest
Yes.
right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then what would you recommend for people who are going to do that? Because of course I'm always thinking, okay, safe sex, right? So
Yes.
like what little bag of goodies, what's going to be in your purse when you go to a group party?
100%.
What are your recommendations?
Condoms.
Mm-hmm.
And like many of them, because you don't know, like one break, or like one with one partner, one with the other partner. So lots of condoms, and it doesn't matter what your sex or gender is. Like I bring condoms.
Mm-hmm.
So bring condoms, bring lube that you like. Usually these parties have tons of lube already, but it might not be the kind of lube that's good for your pussy or that you like.
Yeah.
So bring the lube that you like. It depends on the kind of party you go to, because there are very strict parties where you show your test results,
Mm-hmm.
but there's also kind of like, I trust your word, handshake party. Like, so it just depends. There's also a very like sexual health positive parties where like it's okay if you have this, just disclose and that you're on medication, things like that. So there's many different kinds of parties. I would say when you start researching, like let's say you research, literally you can Google sex clubs near me and some of them will come up. You will see that most of them you have to apply to go. So in the application, it's long, like ask you a bunch of different questions and submit photos. So in that process, I think the organizers kind of vet people that way so that there's not like douchebags and, you know,
Yeah, or something, just somebody who's just there for not the right reasons.
Right, exactly. Yeah. There's a whole process.
What's been the most fun sex party that you've been to?
You know, I've been to many fun ones. So fun is a little hard because they're all fun.
Okay.
I've only been to one shitty one.
Oh, well, what was shitty about it?
Okay, the shitty one was because the ratio wasn't good.
Okay.
There were a lot more men.
Okay.
It made me very uncomfortable. I love men, but like I don't want the ratio to be like 8 out of 10's men. You know, like I want equal or more women. Yeah. Because I'm comfortable around women. I'm attracted to women, and I also feel like in the past or even in the present, usually sexual assault happens like men are the one like, you know, starting it. So I'm a little icky about too many men.
It's a lot of testosterone.
Exactly. Yeah. Like I love men. I want it to be 50-50. So that party that I went to that I thought was shitty, and I only stayed for like 45 minutes. I had one drink. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 men approached me to do something. And I'm like, hell no. There's too many men. I don't want to train. Like, no shame on people that love trains. I never want to train. It's not in my fantasy.
And just describe train. I know what you're talking about, but just in case somebody's like, train, what's that?
A train is a woman laying down, opening her legs, and there's a line of men waiting to fuck her. And that's a train. And it's some people's fantasies and actual sexual behaviors, but not mine. Like I don't want to train. I'm down with like a threesome, but never a train. So there's too many men. I felt bad. And then there was one guy that was like whispering to this other girl, and they started laughing. So me being in my new energy, I confronted them. I'm like, is everything okay? Like, are you guys talking about me? And she's like, well, he said like something along the line of like, well, she's gonna be a bitch. Why is she here? So just because I turned down all these men, like, oh, now I'm an outsider.
Right. Like, because you actually are having your own desires and your own boundaries. Yeah. And just because you're there doesn't mean that you're going to fuck anyone or everyone.
No. And usually I don't. Like, I would say 50% of the time, I don't have sex with anyone. I just go watch. Yeah. I go watch. I bring my vibrator. I pleasure myself. Yeah. Or with a partner that, like, fingers me. Back to the fingering. Yeah. Yeah, I don't usually have penetrative sex, but penis, vagina penetrative sex, or even a strap on with another woman at these parties. Like very few times. I've done it like 2 times. Yeah, so that's kind of my vibe. And that party was shitty just because I don't think they vetted the people enough. They wanted the money from the tickets. So I did not like that. Okay. Yeah, but most of them are fun, especially if you go with someone. Going alone is cool, is ballsy, but going with a friend is better. Yeah. Yeah.
I have not done it alone myself. And I've thought about it and I'm like, that doesn't feel good to me. Yeah. Yeah.
It's very ballsy. I have clients that went by themselves, but they're men.
Okay. I'm curious because I'd be curious if a woman who goes by herself, I'd be curious about that woman. And again, this is no judgment. If she's someone who has not experienced sexual assault. Right. You know, because that's definitely part of my history. And so I know part of me feels like, I don't think I want to go on my own, even though it's an adult, quote unquote consensual.
Right. But like vetted. You never know.
Yeah. Just there's something about it that feels very vulnerable. Yes. And
always go with a buddy.
Yeah. And to go, it's like you want to feel safe and have fun and all the yummy things, because that's why one's there.
All the yummy things. Like even men are super anxious going alone. Like I have 2 clients that went on by themselves. the first time, and they were super anxious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, also, I mean, and I have compassion for men too, because I know it's like, yeah, they again, it's seen like, oh well, of course you would go alone, right?
Right.
Because like that's what guys would want to do, and da 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 da. But it's nerve wracking to show up in
It
a
is.
place where all of a sudden, hey,
It
we're gonna
is.
go get naked together and potentially get intimate and sexual together.
Yeah.
It's all, you know.
Many of them can't even get hard because it was too anxious. There's too many
Mm.
people, too many women.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
It really is. And so, but then you coach these clients on how to
Attend, and then they come back and they brief me,
Mhm.
and yeah.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
Do you ever go to party like
With them.
as like a as a coach? You know, in terms of
Go
teaching?
together.
Yeah, I know. Okay, because I know
Yeah.
there's some dating coaches that will go out
That
in the
go,
field,
yeah.
right, and sort of
I
critique
love
them
that.
at a
Yeah,
bar.
I love that. I love that.
So I was just imagining you going to like some play party and critiquing, you know, your
Just
client,
talking.
you know, and just be sitting back and like observing, like just a participant and like being like, oh yeah, he could have done.
You know, that
this
does
differently.
sound like fun. And in a way, that's going to be my job in this upcoming TV show, which I can't really say what show, but yeah, critiquing is going to be a part of that
It's
TV
so
show.
exciting.
Yeah, I'm really
Well,
excited.
See, that's why everyone's going to have to follow you from this, and then they will know when you can talk about that show.
Yes.
I'm so excited for you.
I will be able to talk about it actually just by the end of this month. Yeah.
Amazing. So awesome. All right, I could talk to you forever.
I
Never,
know.
never.
I
This
can
is
talk to
really
you
great.
forever.
So I think we're going to need to do a part 2 at some point.
Sounds good.
At some point. Okay. So there are 2 signature questions of the podcast.
Okay.
And I encourage you, whatever that flies through, whatever, because there's so many answers to these questions.
That's
Okay.
true.
But whatever the first thing that kind of flies through, I feel like that's the one that wants to be shared.
All right.
All right. Here we go. Of all the things that tune you into spirit, what is one thing that will, no matter what, always tune you in?
Masturbation.
Oh, into spirit.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Masturbation to me is like meditation. My first
Mm.
answer was meditation, but then I'm like, masturbation, because when I'm masturbating, I'm meditating.
Okay.
I don't usually watch porn or like I don't have distractions,
Yeah.
just me
Yes.
and feeling myself, and it allows me to tune in. And sometimes I even talk to my grandma who's dead. You know, amazing. She raised me because my parents were really busy. They
Mhm.
were go-getters, business people,
Mhm.
and my grandma and I have a very close relationship. But yeah, she would talk to me sometimes when I'm masturbating.
Wow. I love that. That's very progressive. My grandmother was my everything as well, but I have not talked to her while I masturbate.
Maybe
talk to
she's
her-
around.
I talk to
You
her in the
just have
kitchen.
to open
I
your-
do think about
Yeah.
that. I talk to her in the kitchen. We're good in the kitchen.
Yes.
That's funny. I love that. I
Thank
love that
you.
so much. All right. And then of all the things, because there are many, and we know one of them, but what is one thing that no matter where, no matter what, will always turn you on?
Oh wow. Passion.
Mm.
Passionate people.
Yes.
When I observe people doing something that they're passionate of, I don't care what gender, sexual orientation, race, ethnicity, religion they are. I'm into you.
Yes.
You know, like I could be into you right now. Like
Yeah.
you're super passionate doing this. Like I love watching people doing their thing.
Totally.
And it turns me on. Like
Yes.
it doesn't matter what they do,
Yeah.
really. I could be with a really good bartender
Mhm.
and watching him
Mhm.
like loving making these
Mhm.
different drinks, passionately explaining the ingredients. I would be like, I want to fuck you.
Totally.
I could watch a lawyer and want to fuck you, a
Mhm.
cop and want to fuck you. I just love passion.
Mm.
Yeah.
I so love that, and that is one of my things. I've not heard anybody say that before the same way, because I'm like, I just if you're whatever you're great at and you're doing it and you're
Yeah.
into it, I am fucking turned on by you.
Same, sister.
I mean,
yeah.
like, even the street sweeper.
Yeah,
you
just
know,
into
by
it,
the way
just
comes
into
and,
it.
and there's like, there's one of them who's like really happy when he's driving down the street.
Yes.
And I wave to him, and I'm like, dude, you are so into it. I like, love this about you.
Okay, I was in Nice last year this time, and there was a really hot garbage man. Super hot. I took a picture of him and texted to all my girlfriends.
Oh my God.
And he was into it.
Sure.
Yeah, just love watching. It turns me on when I watch people doing something they're passionate of.
Yeah.
Being passionate.
So great. Tara, I'm so happy you're
This is so much
here.
fun.
Yeah, I'm so glad you're here. But more, I'm so grateful for you in the world, and that you did come to sort of your awakening, and that you're continuing to just thrive and share what you do and share the way that you do. And you bring so much light to the world and so much play, which is so important, and fun, and, and really good content that is helping people to embrace their sensuality, their sexuality. And we need that more than ever. So I'm very grateful for you.
Oh, thank you
Yeah.
so much. I'm so grateful to be here and grateful for your friendship. You are doing incredible things, and you've done this a long time. So, I'm always I'm grateful of the people that come before me that started doing these things way before me. I started doing this 4 years ago. I'm a baby. Like, I'm very, very grateful for you.
Oh, thanks. Well, the beautiful thing is we have lots to learn from you. So, it all goes full circle.
And I'll be back.
Yes. All right, everybody, it has been, of course, a really delicious, yummy conversation and time here on The Real Undressed. And it's simply bye for now.